Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, you're going to be learning how to make an underbust gather gown with basque waistline in front and basic long sleeve with flare, okay? So if this sounds like something you're interested to learn, please keep on watching and let's get started. Don't forget to subscribe so you get notified anytime new video drops. So guys, I'm making this for my client, okay? I'm going to be taking her measurement. Okay, so you're going to come down by your bust point, come down by your under bust, and also come down by your waistline, okay? So I'm also going to repeat the same thing on the other side. I will come down by her bust point, under bust, and waistline. After making my dots, I'll rule out a straight line using my ruler like so, and I'll also go ahead and label as well, okay? So her bust point is 11 and a half, under bust is 15 and a half, waistline is 18 inch. Next thing I want to do is to mark half of her shoulder circumference. After marking, I'm going to come down by her armhole depth of 8 inch, and I'll also mark half of the shoulder circumference at that point. I'm going to connect the 2 points in a straight line just like this, and also extend it towards this other side. Then I'll label as shoulder line. Next, mark 3 inch for the neck width, come down by 1 inch for shoulder slope. Connect your shoulder slope to the neck width just like this, and also come down by 4 inch for the neck depth. My client is very long, like she's a tall person, so I marked 4 inch for her neck depth. Yours could be 3.5 or 3 inch. So measure what you have there, mark the midpoint on the armhole line, and also mark quarter of your bust circumference. Use your curve ruler to connect the three dots to give you your armhole curve just like this, okay? So the next thing I want to do is from the waistline, I'm going to come down by 7 inch. Remember I said my client is a tall person, so I came down by 7 inch. This is for the basque waistline, okay? For the basque effect, if you are average height, you can just come down by 5 inch. All right, so next you're going to mark half of your nipple to nipple. Her own was 8 inch, so half of it was 4 inch. I marked it. So from the under bust to the waistline and to the basque line, I marked half an inch just this way, and I had to connect in a straight line. So now I am going to connect from there to the bust point, okay, because I want to make a princess dart. So now that I'm done with that, you're going to place your tape on that point, then mark 2 inch to get the second cup. You mark to 2 inch, okay, then you connect from the under bust down to the basque line. Place your cover like so to make your curve for the cup, okay? You just make your cup like so. The next thing you want to do is from that point, remember I had 7 inch left, so I will get the midpoint of 3.5, okay? Then I'm going to connect from that point to the bust point just like this. Can you see? The next thing I want to do again is to tighten that point by 1 inch. So I'm going to connect using my curve ruler. I'm going to connect like so. Can you see? You tighten that point, you connect it like so. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to add the bust circumference divided by 4. Then I'm going to mark and add seam allowance of 2 inch. You can also replace what you have there for the dart. Now you are going to come on the waistline, mark quarter of your waist circumference, replace the dart, and also add your seam allowance. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to extend from the waistline to the basque line and also connect from there to the bust line just like this. Now that I'm done with that, you're going to also come outside here by 1.5 inch, okay? You come outside there by 1.5 inch. After connecting like so, go ahead and use your curve ruler to connect your curve to meet the armhole, okay? Just like this. So now that I'm done with this, next thing I want to do is to achieve the basque effect. Before you do that, close your dart, okay? You're going to close up your dart like so. Then you place your ruler this way and make a V curve. Connect from your waistline to that point, just a curve. Make sure it's looking like this. Now that you're done with this, next thing you want to do now is to cut it out just this way. Watch how I'm cutting this. So if you have watched to this point, kindly hit on subscribe button. If you're a new subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Old subscribers, thank you so much for always watching my videos. Please, if you're yet to subscribe, kindly hit on subscribe button so you're always notified anytime I upload new videos, okay? So after cutting this, I'm also going to cut the back, okay? So you cut it looking like this. Once you're done cutting, you're going to have something looking like this. You have it looking like this. Then now I'm going to cut the back. So for the back, remember the half length was 18 inch, right? So I'm going to mark 18 inch and I will use it to make a straight line. After marking this 18, I'm also going to come down by her armhole depth of 8 inch. Then after doing that, I will connect the zip allowance line. You will have up to 1.5 to 1 inch zip allowance. So you're going to connect like so. You connect all your dots. Also label as well. I'll label as chest line and waistline. So I'm also going to mark half of her shoulder circumference. It was 8 inch. Sorry, it was 18 inch. So divided by 2 is 9. I went ahead to mark, and I also marked 3 inch for the neck width. I came down by 1 inch for shoulder slope, just like we did on the front piece. Okay, so after connecting my shoulder slope, I'm going to come down by 2 inch for the neck depth of the back piece. Then you connect your round neckline like so. After that, go ahead and work on your armhole by making your curve. Okay, you make the curve for your armhole, and also impute your bust circumference divided by 4 plus your seam allowance of 2 inch. At the waistline, you mark quarter of your waist circumference, add 2 inch for seam allowance and 1 inch for your dart. After connecting my shape, my client shape, I'm going to also mark half of her nipple to nipple. After that, you're going to subtract half an inch on both sides and make your dart just like this. So on the zip allowance side, I went in by half an inch and I also connected like so. This is to remove any form of zipper bulge. So after marking, I will just go ahead and cut it out like so. Okay, so after cutting the back, I'll go ahead and label as back pattern just this way, and I'm going to work on the fabrics. So here is my crepe fabric. What I have here is 3.5, okay, for the crepe. So I want to cut the down part, that is the gather part of the gown is what I'm going to be cutting. I've already folded everything, make sure it's on equal length. So after folding, guys, you can see how straight it looks. I'm going to make a straight line. This will serve as the hemming line. Okay, so I'm going to take the length of the gown. The length of my client's gown is 42 inch. I had extra 1 inch for the folding and joining allowance, which is 43. So I'm going to mark the 18 inch for the half length, and I'm going to connect a straight line just this way. After doing that, I'll go ahead and cut it out just like this. I'm going to cut it out. So after cutting, I'm also going to trim out this other line I have here at the hem. You trim it out just this way. This is for the down part. Okay, so guys, after cutting, I'm going to transfer all my patterns to the actual fabrics. Okay, so I'm going to fold the remaining fabric into two, place my front pattern and go ahead and cut it out. When cutting, add half an inch for stitching allowance all the way around. Okay, add your half an inch stitching allowance all the way around. So go ahead and cut just this way. After cutting this one, you're going to cut the other side. Okay, on the neckline, you're going to leave half an inch stitching allowance for the neckline. Do the same thing on the other side. Please subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe. If you're yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can support me by subscribing to my YouTube channel. Like this video, share this video. You can also leave your comments in the comment section. So after cutting, I'm going to note the underbust and also give it a notch. Okay, also notch your underbust, don't forget that. So this is the back pattern. I'm also go ahead and cut it. I'll also go ahead and cut it out, and when cutting, I'll leave half an inch for stitching allowance. So for the front pattern, when transferring to the actual fabric or after cutting, please don't forget to note or notch your underbust. Okay, so you go ahead and cut. After cutting, this is what I have here. Okay, this is what I have here after I was done cutting. Next thing I want to do again is to cut the sleeve. The sleeve length is 26 inch, but because it has flare, I'm going to mark 20 inch for the sleeve length. For the basic sleeve length, I'll mark 20 inch plus 1 inch to make it 21 for stitching and sewing allowance. So after rolling a straight line, I'm going to come down by 4 inch for cap height and also 12 inch for her elbow length. So after marking, next thing I want to do is on that side, on this upper side here, I'll mark 8 inch for her armhole depth and also 1.5 inch for allowance. So what I have there is total of 9.5 inch, and I'm going to connect the curve from here to the cap height. I'm also going to mark half of her round sleeve measurement plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. So I'm also going to mark the elbow round sleeve here and extra 1 inch for the sewing allowance. I'll mark the wrist, half of the wrist circumference plus 1 inch for the sewing allowance. Now I'll go ahead and cut it out just like this. And after cutting this one, I'm also going to place another fabric to cut the second sleeve. Okay, just this way. So please give this video a thumbs up. Please give it a thumbs up. If you are yet to subscribe, kindly hit on the subscribe button. Thank you. So after cutting, you notch the midpoint of your sleeve and also mark the front, sorry, also mark the back of your sleeve. Okay, mark the wrong side of the sleeve. So for the flare, I want to work with length 6 inch. Okay, that is the remaining of 6 inch we had on the total sleeve length. You know we had 26. So after the 20 inch for the basic long sleeve, I marked extra 6 inch here. This is for the flare. The flare length is actually 6 inch. That is what I'm trying to say. Okay, but you are going to add extra 1 inch for allowance. Go ahead and cut it into two. For the sleeve width, I have 15 inch. Okay, so you're going to times your wrist circumference by 3 to get your full garden effect. Okay, for the flare. So guys, we have already come to the end of today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please get ready for the sewing part. Thank you.